This is Bumper to Bumper, the car show. Drive in anxious and cruise out confident. With the best automotive information for your vehicle. And now your hosts, Matt Allen and Dave Riccio.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio. Matt Allen is not here today, so I am your KTAR car guy. Bumper to Bumper Radio is heard every Saturday from 11 to noon. And at Bumper to Bumper Radio, we're helping you have a better overall car experience. So if you got car questions, we've got car answers, and I encourage you to give us a call at 602-277-5827, 602-277-5827. And I say we because today Matt is off, but I've got John Riggle from Tri-City Transmission and Auto Repair. He's my lead diagnostician at the shop, and he's here to help me help you with your car. Today on the Bumper to Bumper Roadmap, a little bit of fact or fiction. We're going to be checking in from the Good Guys Car Show, and then open phones. You guys got questions about your car, you just give us a call. We're going to help you out with it. No question is a silly question because you all got them and everyone can benefit from them. And then, you know, John, I was thinking about something in the shop this week that we did a lot of. I mean, we got literally a parking lot full of diagnostic issues.
Yep.
And all the people that called in to get their car fixed, like, what's the diagnostic charge for?
Yeah.
So I said, well, okay, I think there's a little bit of, maybe there's some more education that needs to go on there as far as what is diagnostic, what is the point of diagnostic, and what is there a charge. And we had a guy call us this week. He had a Lexus from 1998, and he said, I was at my auto shop. They said, I've got a code for a solenoid, so I need a new solenoid. We said, okay, great. We'll bring it in. We're just going to check it out. The diagnostic's just $78. He goes, why do I need diagnostic? Because I already told you what it is. It's just the solenoid.
Right.
They told me. I've already paid. So why do I pay the $78 again? And I said, well, they said, well, he very well could need a solenoid because there was a code for a solenoid. And at the end of the day, did that car need a solenoid, John?
No, that car needed a computer.
Needed a computer. So, and my explanation to him was, when there's a fault code for a solenoid, and let's talk about codes. Let me slow it down a little bit here, because people say to me, they say, well, don't you just plug it into the computer and it tells you what's going on? And, it gives you some information when you plug into a computer, but it does not tell you what's going on. So when you're driving your car and your check engine light comes on in the car, because there's a problem, the computer recognizes the issue and it sets a little error message in the computer that we can retrieve later with a scanning tool.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's what we would call. That's nice if the car does give us a message.
Right.
But there's also something called no code diagnosis.
Yep.
And what made me think of that, we had this Chrysler Town and Country that came to our shop, maybe this was 2-3 months ago, and they had started out with a dealer. They were having a problem, and the dealer didn't give them the answer they liked, so they went to the regular auto shop that they go to some of the times, and they looked at it and had no answer, and then they referred them over to us, and we looked at it, and we diagnosed it, and we fixed it. And the wife said to me when we were all done, she said, well, why couldn't the other shops just plug into it and do what you did? We said, well, we actually had to drive your car 50 miles to figure out what's going on.
We drove that car a lot. And in all fairness to the other shops, I think that was part of the reason that they didn't get the right answer.
Correct.
I spent a lot of time in that car. That was a real subtle problem with no codes and on a fully computer-controlled car. So now we have both mechanical and electronic systems to try to work on and figure out which one's causing the problem. And it took me a long time to get a good feel for that, where we could actually, come up with a good, confident answer on that.
And what we did, and a lot of times John will drive cars by himself. A lot of times I'll jump in so he can read the scanner and I drive the car. Yep. Because we're looking at the data, we're looking for inconsistencies in the data, or we're looking for what is happening in the data when the event happens to try and pinpoint what's going on. Yeah. And I kid you not, 50 miles. And you've made a good point, in fairness to the other shops, is that as soon as the other shops go, they kind of blow it off because it's a subtle problem or a minute problem. Maybe they don't want to blow it off, but most people aren't prepared to give the car to you for 2 days and be willing to spend $200-$300 to figure this thing out.
Yeah, and sometimes it literally takes days. I had a car in there this week that ran for 5 hours, ran in my bay for 5 hours, driving me nuts, and did not act up until I actually, once I got it to where I could get it to duplicate it, I finally figured out what was wrong with it. But boy, it ran for a long time.
So diagnostic, what's the point of it? So when you call the shop, in the older the car, and this is my observation, John, tell me if I'm wrong, but the older the car, the harder they are to diagnose.
Yeah, they are in my opinion. Yep.
And I think what that is because so many people, when a car's got 150,000 miles on it, now it's been repaired by a bunch of different people. Okay, so people have been in there, they've been working, and sometimes we see what we call pattern failures or things that they're normal and they fit the circumstances. But we had a Nissan that got towed into us not too long ago, and it had just a little piece of insulation missing off of one of the 5-volt reference wires.
Yeah.
And the car wouldn't start.
Yeah.
And it was only that car only had 30,000 miles on it.
That car had 30,000 miles on it. It shouldn't have been broken. It should not have had that nick in that wire. Somebody had worked on it. Somebody had misrouted one of the wiring harnesses, being careless, and it caused a problem that was really difficult to find because it was just a nick in a wire.
And no scanner is going to tell you where that nick in the wire is.
Yep.
And not only that, nothing would communicate because that nick in that wire was taking the computers down.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't talk to any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So the diagnostic piece is, and back to that Caravan, no one wants to give you the car for a couple, 2-3 days, and I think we charge $300 to diagnose that one.
Yep.
And at $300, we lost our butt because it was John's time and my time, and sometimes that's the cost of doing business. We understand that.
Right.
But by the customer saying, "Hey, I'm willing to spend some money on this to get it fixed out," well, that gets our buy-in to go fix your car because no two problems are necessarily alike.
Well, the thing about diagnosis is, at least from my point of view, I can't fix it till I know what's wrong with it. I can throw parts at it. I can guess all day long. I can tell you what's not wrong with it, but it's really difficult for me to tell you what's wrong with it until I know that.
We had a Toyota Tundra in our shop this week, and it was diagnostic week. We had all kinds of diagnostic stuff.
Yeah.
I've
been running around like crazy.
This guy had a Toyota Tundra, 150,000 miles on it, and he was asking around, thought he needed a transmission. Well, he said, the way he described the symptoms to us wasn't actually what was going on with the truck, but it was missing, I want to say it was missing third gear, fifth gear,
second and sixth, I think.
Second and sixth gear.
Skipped second and neutral in sixth.
And this guy he was pretty sharp. I mean, he knew what he was doing, so he did some of the diagnostic. He had limited information, so I say he was sharp with the information that he had.
Yeah.
And he decided to buy a couple of solenoids, and I think he spent about $500 on solenoids.
Yep.
He took the transmission pan off and he replaced the solenoids. And, when we had to figure out from him what he actually did, because it didn't fix his car.
Right.
So here we are. We got to rework his work. We got to undo what he did in order to get back to the original problem in order to fix his car.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, he needed one solenoid, and that was not the one to replace because that valve body had, I want to say, 9 or 13 solenoids on it. It was not that simple. So
even knowing which piece to replace in that case, even though I knew the answer, there's actually a TSB for identifying the solenoids because service parts and the repair information both call them two different things. So they've actually had to publish pictures and arrows and stuff. Go, this is this one, but we call it this in part. So it gets confusing.
Right. In all those details, and John's got 40 years of experience, so he's able to digest that, and it's hard for him. So if I'm Jimmy John, the homeowner, and I'm trying to change out solenoids in my driveway, chances are I'm probably going to make a boo-boo.
I even found mistakes in the diagnostic trouble charts, and I downloaded charts off a Russian website to get the actual information for that was correct for that car.
I didn't know you spoke Russian.
I don't. It was scary. I don't know what kind of viruses we get on the computers.
Yeah, I know, right? That Russian information.
Yeah.
So anyway, diagnostic, it's a hard part of the deal, and it's the part that no one really wants to pay for. And I kind of understand where you're going to charge me to look at your car. And so, no, actually, if I just had to look at your car in a parking lot, I wouldn't charge you anything.
I won't charge you for that.
But but there's some words that get thrown out there, and some words like inspections. Some inspections are free. They're courtesy inspections that people do. They'll check the air in your tires, that kind of thing. That's just an inspection.
Yeah.
But also the word diagnostic. And John, you said you don't like the word diagnostic.
I don't. Diagnostic diagnostic describes other things. You have diagnostic tests, diagnostic time. Diagnosis is what you have once you have the answer. Doctor, what's your diagnosis? Oh, you have appendicitis. Okay, so that's the answer. But you have to get to the answer. So what we do is analysis. I analyze the customer's situation. What is it the car is doing that the customer doesn't like? What are the possibilities? What do we need to do to get to the answer? And then we run a series of tests until we're fairly certain we know what's wrong with that and we can prove it. So it's analysis more so than diagnosis. Everybody sees these signs for free check engine diagnosis. You know what you get for free?
It's worth what you pay for it.
Not much, unfortunately.
And I do see, because people talk to me, they know I'm in the car business, they know I do a car show, and so they'll tell me about their experience at a shop somewhere, and they say, well, they tried this and they tried that, and they're giving them all kinds of credit for all the efforts that they put into trying and throwing different parts at their car and different guesses, and they're paying for this all along the way, and they don't know that, hey, if and I'm sure they're perfectly nice guys that did a lot of parts pitching. Yeah. But if they would have spent the money on the diagnosis, they probably could have cut the time in half. Yeah. Probably could have cut some of the stress in half, because it gets stressful. You're like, oh no, they're going to call me again and they're going to ask me for more money. Yeah. And oh no, they're going to what now? So we try and get as much of that up front, try and figure out what the problem is, and sometimes there may be, hey, we got a bad component, we got to replace that to get to the next step. Oh, yeah. That may be the only answer, but right now I got a computer that's brain dead, so I've got to get a good computer in it to find out that the rest of the car works. Sure. There could be something beyond that.
Yeah, because we're always looking for the root cause. What originally caused the problem to happen? So you could wind up with a situation where you've got a bad computer that's not controlling the trends, but the thing's already smoked the trends. You may have to put the computer in to find out that, to make it control the trends, and then find out, oh, yeah, geez, it needs a trans too. So this is something that's been ongoing. But that's why we interview customers like we do too. How long has it been a problem? When did it start? Was there other services that were performed? So you have to put all the pieces together.
People want to know what's their new car stereo got to do with their transmission. But I tell you what, I've seen someone pull a power wire off a transmission wire when they're installing a stereo, and it's causing me problems and hard to diagnose, because the transmission works great when the volume's up.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So anyway, when we come back, if you've got a diagnostic question about your car, or any question about your car, what kind of wax to use on it? Actually, I don't know the answer to that, so don't call me for that. But 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. You can also text us at 411-923. You're listening to Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Matt and I share car repair tips weekly to help you keep your car safely on the road, and a few of them are easy to do.
Yep, you're right, Dave. And one of the easiest is to have a dependable battery that you can trust to get you started no matter what the conditions.
Interstate batteries are what we trust at Bumper to Bumper Radio. In fact, they're what we use at our own shops for our customers.
If you're like most people, your car is one of your most valuable investments. Make sure you take care of that investment with the power necessary to get you where you need to be. Interstate batteries are America's #1 replacement brand with the factory fresh guarantee, and they're easy to find at good shops everywhere.
Cars or trucks, Interstate has you covered with long life and performance in our harsh desert climates with products like Megatron Plus. It carries a 30-month free replacement and a 6-year performance guarantee.
Interstate batteries. No battery lasts longer. Check them out at interstatebatteries.com.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A-plus rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20-plus years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
The next generation of hot rod and fun is here. The Good Guys are back, bigger and better than ever. Join us at the Good Guys Spring Nationals Giant Car Show, March 16th to the 18th at West World of Scottsdale. Bring the whole family and check out over 2,500 of the baddest hot rods, muscle cars, and trucks from across the country with the all-new cutoff date of 1987. Plus, check out the Swap Meet, free kids zone, live music, and so much more. It's the Good Guys Spring Nationals, March 16th to the 18th at West World of Scottsdale. Get tickets and details at good-guys.com.
She's real fine, my 409. She's real fine, my 409, my 409. Well, I saved my pennies and I saved my dimes. Giddy up, 409.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio. Matt Allen is off this week. He'll be back next week, but I've got John Riggle from Tri-City Transmission and Auto Repair, a guy with 40 years of experience, not only in domestic, European. He's got, John, you spent 12 years working on Asian imports.
Yeah, that's what I specialized in, yeah.
So if you got an Asian import, and it looks like we've got John in Mesa, he's got a Toyota Matrix, and we've got Ivan in Phoenix, who's got a 06 Toyota Prius, and we've also got open lines at 602-277-5827. And if you want to text us, you can text us at 411-923. We can try and help you out there if you're super shy and you just want a quick little answer kind of thing. But, John, this topic of diagnostic in really, I think this came up last week, is that there's different grades of technicians, some with more experience, some with less experience.
Yeah.
And so there's problems that are pretty routine. They come in the shop. They're normal pattern failures. You're going to find the answers on a cheater site. And what I mean by a cheater site is just a database of, hey, I got this code and this problem. What is it kind of thing. But not everything fits into that. And some guys get lost as soon as they go, it's not on the cheater site. There's no code for it. And I don't have a very good explanation from the customer.
Right.
A good experienced technician is going to say, I can fix this, but I need way, way better information from the customer. So it's calling back, interviewing, more conversation. There's more to this story.
Yeah.
And getting that information and then diving in and then using those problem-solving skills. It's kind of like the calculator. Well, we can use the calculator and it does the problems. And what happens when we can't? When it's, we don't have a calculator. We got to do some math.
Yeah.
And so a lot of guys are kind of stuck with, hey, I've got this cheater site right here. And it kind of limits their problem-solving skills.
Right.
So there's that piece, and then there's no substitute for experience. Because, John, in 40 years, you have come up against a lot of hard problems to fix.
Oh, yeah, and I still see them every day, Just when you think you've seen it all, you turn around and go, oh, wow, I didn't know that was like that.
It's actually fun for us, to figure some of this stuff out, because sometimes life gets a little, boring. You need a little challenge.
Well, and sometimes, sometimes you lose sight of the absolute analytical process. And so when we bounce stuff back and forth off each other, every once in a while you'll ask me a question and I got to think to myself, shoot, I don't know the answer to that. I need to rethink this and go back because he's got a point. It may not work that way. There may be some subtle distinction there that I missed. And so we kick a lot of things back and forth and we come up with some good answers.
Subtle distinctions, and you said,
dangerous assumptions. Dangerous assumptions. When you assume you know how it works and you find out in all reality it doesn't work that way at all. There's a lot of little things like that change, especially with electronics and the way technology for the newer cars keeps moving forward.
And the other thing you talk about, and I see you do it, you pull a car in a bay and then you go read on the internet for 15 minutes.
Oh yeah. No, there's a lot of research that goes into just before you even go there. I look at a lot of wiring diagrams. For me, I can look at a lot of wiring diagrams and discern how a system works just by the commonalities. And I can see where if I have multiple symptoms, is there anything common to those? Are there common grounds or anything? So that's an old habit from just when I'm working on something, just to take a look at the wiring diagram and see if anything relates right off the top of the.
Yeah, for sure, and that is so relative, and I love that you do that. And you almost, it's rare that you ever miss anything because you have just a systematic approach, and you're following the same thing every time. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. No. We just got to have A, B, C, D, and just go down the list. So anyhow, let's go with John in Mesa. He's got a 2006 Toyota Matrix. How can we help you, John? You are on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hello. Thank you for taking my call. I have a 2006 Toyota Matrix. I had the engine mounts replaced.
Okay.
And there's a vibration in the car still, in the steering wheel and, the shifter. Even when, of course, when the car is stopped and just idling at a stoplight.
Right.
And I've been told by different people that, well, it's a front-wheel drive car. You have a lot of miles on it now, and if you didn't put the OEM original engine mounts back in it, that could be one of the huge problems you're having now. Because I thought replacing the mounts themselves, one of them was cracked, that it would get rid of this. But
I own a Matrix myself, and I can tell you for a fact that if that car did not get OEM straight from Toyota mounts in it, you will continue to have a vibration in it. The factory mounts are really expensive, and the compounds that they used were very soft in them. The aftermarket mounts used a different type of rubber compound, and they don't isolate the vibration well at all, and you'll never get rid of that vibration until you put the factory mounts in it.
And that could be twofold, because there's engines that are going to have a certain amount of vibration just by the fact that there's something in there rotating, spinning, and explosions happening all the time. There is some amount of vibration. A good mount absorbs that vibration. Yeah. Some vibration is beyond what would be normal. So it could be twofold. So the mounts, for sure. A good factory mount is going to take care of a lot of vibration. And I see people go buy crap, mounts. I mean,
there are no good aftermarket mounts. Nope. I've not found a brand yet that was acceptable. Factory mounts are expensive because of the engineering and materials that went into them, and there's just no way around it with a lot of cars.
Everybody can benefit from that. So if you're buying mounts, talk to your shop. Say, are those actually General Motors mounts?
Yeah.
Not General Motors replacement mounts.
Yeah.
General Motors mounts.
Yeah.
So you want to be for sure on that. All right, thanks for the call, John. 602-277-5827. We're going to go with Ian on a 2006 Toyota Prius. How can we help you, Ian? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hi, this is Ivan. Thank you for taking my call.
You bet.
Yeah, so I have a 2006 Toyota Prius, and last August I had the hybrid battery replaced, and just last week, it fell again, so I took it back to the shop and then replaced it again. And now yesterday, he gave me the same code, and then I take it back, and they tell me I have to replace the battery again. And that hybrid battery, it's quite expensive. So good thing it's still on the warranty, but my concern is maybe there's something else with the engine that is making the batteries fail. And the code that it comes out, it's let's see, it's P0, letter A6, and it says hybrid battery voltage system isolation fault. So I'm just concerned on what your opinion is about this.
Sure. I mean, to me, John, I'm thinking there's something else going on right off the bat.
Yeah, I'm thinking 3 of those batteries in a row. I don't think so.
Yeah, and was the first one bad?
Yeah, exactly. No, somebody's missing something, unfortunately. There's something there. That particular code doesn't necessarily mean that the high-voltage battery is bad.
And that's to the point there that we just talked about at the beginning of the show, the diagnosis. So, you may have needed a battery. I'm not saying you didn't. But maybe the first one wasn't bad, and maybe we missed something. We replaced, and I think you spent a couple $2,000, $3,000 putting one of those batteries in the thing, and then we got the same problem, and repeat. I'm saying, did I need the first battery in the first place? That's the kind of stuff we're talking about. So if you want a hand with your car, 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. You can also text us at 411-923. We've got wide open lines, so do not be shy. When we come back, we're going to take a little spin out to the Good Guys Car Show. We'll be right back.
There is nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock here for Kurt's Auto Repair. I brought my nephew and general manager, Jeff Rock, to help spread the word.
Thanks, Pops. Yep, the more things change, the more they stay the same at Kurt's. Family owned and operated, our ASE Master Techs and family ethics have earned us a perfect Better Business Bureau record for over 30 years. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue in Bell or online at mycarhurts.com.
Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic, if your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
Having an accident is stressful. Dealing with the repair process shouldn't be. Hi, Leo Petrozella for Campus Body Salon. The right to choose a repair facility is yours, not the insurance companies. We work with all insurance companies, but we work for you. Campus Body Salon, Bumper to Bumper Radio approved and independently family owned and operated since 1973. Check out our Cash for Your Crash program where we pay you 10% off of your repair up to $1,000. Campus Body Salon, the best care in collision repair.
Hi, I'm Dave Riccio, owner of Tri-City Transmission. Well, you may have come to know us for being a transmission expert. What you may not know is that our customers regularly ask us why we don't perform repairs to the rest of the vehicle. You guys are so great. Why work on just the transmission? Well, the requests became hard to ignore, and 3 years ago, we began to build an infrastructure to perform general automotive repair. We weren't going to do general repair if we couldn't be great at it, So in 2013, we began the soft opening of Tri-City Auto Repair on Smith Road. We brought on ASE Master Technicians to work side by side with our Master Transmission Technicians. The combination of the best in both of these trades has created a synergy that allows us not only to fix your transmission, but to service and repair your whole car, and to do it well. Let's face it, the modern car has become so integrated. We believe all of our expert knowledge puts us ahead of the curve. Find us at TriCityTransmission.com or TempeAutoRepairShop.com. That's TempeAutoRepairShop.com.
Arizona's news station is KTAR News, 92.3 FM. Arizona's news station. KTAR, on air, 92.3 FM, online at KTAR.com, and streaming live on the KTAR News app. Your breaking news and traffic, now.
KTAR News time is 11:30. Good morning, I'm Mark Carlson. Outgoing Deputy FBI Director Andrew McCabe fired on Friday. The Justice Department says the move comes after the Inspector General's report, which concluded McCabe made an unauthorized disclosure to the news media and lacked candor. ABC's Aaron Kotursky reports from New York.
The FBI rank and file is particularly interested in truth-telling, and Andy McCabe was found by Justice Department investigators to have misled them about matters associated with the 2016 election. On the other hand, McCabe was at the FBI for more than 20 years, and his firing just 2 days before his retirement date took effect could certainly be questioned and criticized by some FBI officials.
Officials say 2 cars have been removed from under the rubble of a collapsed pedestrian walkway at Florida International University in Miami. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Chief Arthur Holmes Jr. says crews won't leave until all the vehicles that were trapped under the bridge are retrieved. And now for Check on Traffic, here's Mike Daniels live from the KTAR Traffic Center.
Go to westbound at Alma School Road has been cleared. All lanes now open. And we do have a wreck at Bell Road and 7th Street to watch out for. This report brought to you by Smokey's Garage Door. Is your garage door squeaking, rattling, or just not working? The pros at Smokey's Garage Door will get you back on track fast. Free estimates and same-day service available. Just click Smokey'sGarageDoor.com. I'm Mike Daniels, KTAR News.
KTAR weather for the valley today, partly cloudy skies, a high around 71. We have 65 in Goodyear. Weather is brought to you by Howard Air. I'm Mark Carlson on Arizona's news station, KTAR News.
Whether you're a lifelong dirt road driving, tackle box toting weekend warrior or an outdoor lifestyle rookie, from the desert to the mountains of our great state, Mike Russell has the outdoors in Arizona covered. This afternoon at 1 with Get Outdoors. Only on KTAR News 92.3 FM and streaming live on the KTAR News app.
It sounds like they've just had the accurate automotive experience. We're family-owned and operated and have served the Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert communities for over 22 years. We focus on building long-lasting relationships. And oh yeah, listening to you so that we can understand, meet, and exceed your expectations. One location, 14 bays, 88 years of automotive expertise, and a passionate commitment to customer service and excellence. My name is Lee Weatherby, and I approve this message because it's true. We love what we do, and we want to do it for you. Accurate Automotive, the home of friends serving friends.
Get ready for a blend of timeless traditions and new school trends at the Good Guys Spring Nationals Giant Car Show, March 16th through the 18th at Westworld of Scottsdale. Come on out and explore over 2,500 cutting-edge pre-1987 hot rods, muscle cars, and trucks. Experience the power and performance of Good Guys Autocross. Feel the rumble of Nitro Thunderfest. And bring out your late-model American-made or powered show car for the Spectra Performance All-American Sunday. It's the Good Guys Spring Nationals, March 16th through the 18th at Westworld of Scottsdale. Get tickets and register your ride at good-guys.com.
Here's what Carrie from Tempe had to say about her experience with Good Works Auto Repair.
As soon as you realize, I need to get some work done on my car, I'm sure the thought occurs to you that you're about to get taken for a ride. I used to share the same sentiment and wondered if the shop was going to make something up and have me spending hundreds of dollars instead of $30 I was planning on for a simple oil change. This is one of the reasons I will only go to Good Works Auto Repair. Because I trust them. Putting trust in an auto shop didn't come easily. It's been built over several visits with them doing exactly what was needed, not coercing me into unnecessary work. Ask them for an oil change and a safety inspection, they do just that. No baloney, list of filters, belts, and whatchamacallits that need replacing on my new car. Thank you, Good Works Auto Repair, for being there for me when I need you.
Appreciate the kind words. It's always a pleasure. Glenn Hayward here. Come experience what award-winning auto service should be. Good Works Auto Repair in Tempe, or visit us at goodworksautorepair.com.
This is Bumper to Bumper Radio, KTAR News on 92.3 FM.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio, here along with John Riggle from Tri-City Transmission and Auto Repair. Together, we are helping you with your car. All you got to do to get a hold of the show is give us a call at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. We were talking about Diagnostic earlier, but anything you got going on with your car, let's say you got some sort of weird vibration, or you got a window that won't roll down, or you got a window that keeps going bad, door locks that don't work, maybe you got a stink in your car you're trying to get rid of, I don't know, anything with your car, give us a call. We're feeling lonely today at 602-277-5827. John, I'm going to go to some of these texts. This gentleman has a 1984 Chevy Crew Cab truck. He put a crate engine in it that's got about 65,000 miles on it now. He's getting oil in the plug on the number 8 cylinder, and he's losing oil through number 8 cylinder. What do you think's going on?
Oh, I don't know. It could be a couple of different things, but one of the first things I'd look for is vacuum in the crankcase. The intake manifold gaskets will leak on those, and they'll draw oil up through the bottom of the intake manifold gaskets and right into the end holes. And the quick, easy way to check is pull the PCV valve out and put your thumb in the hole in the valve cover and block off the crankcase vent with your other thumb and see if you got vacuum in the crankcase. If you do, you got a leaking intake manifold gasket.
Okay. That sounds like a good direction. Sounds like an easy test you can do in your driveway for sure. So this other gentleman here has a 2016 Titan XD with 7,200 miles on it, and his transmission shop cannot see the transmission or engine on their handheld code reader. Can see other systems. Anyway, so he's asking what's going on. Is there a bad wire? Some of these scanners don't, in a late model car, if you don't have a real up-to-date scanner, you may have trouble talking to a car.
Yeah, and you have to be careful with that one too. I believe that one actually talks to the scanner on what we call a K line, which is a separate line than the CAN data bus. The other ones talk on the CAN data bus, but for PCM and engine controller on the enhanced data, I think that talks on a K line. So you got to make sure you've got an up-to-date scanner with the capability to talk to it in an enhanced mode to be able to see those two controllers.
Okay, so hopefully that helps you out. And we got a couple more texts we're going to go to here, but I'm going to go with John in Florence. He's got a 2002 Ford F-150. How can I help you, John? You are on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Yes, sir. Hi there. I picked this car up from Phoenix. It's my brother-in-law's car, and it doesn't. I had it sitting around in the desert here for about 3 months, and it doesn't start. We've got some kind of ground squirrels out here that eat wires and kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I checked the wiring. It looks okay, but the battery's dead, and I hooked my other truck up to it to get it jump started, and it's not getting any gas because we're checking the shredder valve and going to the carburetor and or electronic ignition, and it's turning over, but it's not starting.
Sure. John, any thoughts that are coming to your mind? Just
while you're cranking it, take a hammer and try hitting the bottom of the gas tank.
Yeah, make sure it's got gas in it.
Make sure it's got gas in it, but also
I put about 5 gallons of gas in it from the gas can.
A car that's been sitting for 3 months, sometimes the fuel pumps will try to lock up mechanically, and that's one of the tricks that we do is tap the bottom of the tank while we're cranking the car and see if now you have fuel pressure. If you do, you got a fuel pump going bad.
Okay, so give it a good whack with the sledgehammer.
Rubber mallet, not a sledgehammer.
Or a size 12. If you're gifted with size 12 feet, go ahead and just kick the bottom of the tank. That'll be fine. That's the nice thing about working on trucks is there's room to get underneath there. You can actually get on a creeper. You know, the modern sports car, you're not rolling underneath it with a creeper. So anyway, hey, we are going to take a quick shout out to the Good Guys Car Show. We've got Michael Henry out there, and let's see if we can get him on the line there. Let's see. Hey, Mike, are you with us? Hey, Mike, are you with us?
I'm with you. Got a sledgehammer and a mallet as well.
Okay, all right. I bet you wish you had a size 12 like I do.
Well, I got a size 13, and I'm looking at using all of my leather on my shoes today to walk around this event because it is flipping awesome.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, the weather's nice. I think I want to get out. I just want to sit there and watch the autocross. That's it.
Well, you know me, I come out here and I'm just like numb for 2 days because just the stuff you see out here is amazing. Gosh, I'm coming up in the line today, and I was telling Betsy Bennett, the queen of everything good and kind at Good Guys, who's going to be on in 2 seconds. I'm in line today, and I'm looking at cars that are in the line just to come in to watch the show that like could be in the show, and they probably are coming in to be in the show, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's awesome out here. Westworld easy to get to, and like always, there's nothing better in town to do than on a weekend like this and see the stuff out here.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, let's hear from Betsy.
Let me do a handoff. Guys, have a good weekend. And
for
tip
sure.
Matt for me when he gets back from New York.
All right. Well, I'll be
Okay,
out
here you
there. I'll
go.
see you out there. Hey, Betsy.
Hey, Dave.
So, how is it this year having the year range change on the cars this year?
You know what? It's very cool, actually, that we expanded our cutoff year to 1987. So we are seeing some really cool cars. In fact, there was a car here yesterday that I posted on our Facebook page. It was a 77 Pontiac Can-Am, and they only made 1,000 of them, and there's like 300 left, and this guy had one out here. So we're seeing some really great things and vehicles coming in because of that expansion. So we're really happy with that.
Well, in the 80s, I was in grade school, so I that's when I had models of cars, and I was that was all the cool stuff. So hopefully there's more people my age out there today.
Well, right?
So anyway, what else is new for this year that you want to let everybody know about?
Well, today we have, starting about 3:30, we've got an autocross shootout event. And we've added a shootout event, which is our qualifier for the Duel in the Desert. So we'll take the top 16 cars based on speed, and that can be from the pro class or any of the other classes, and we'll run them off in a ladder, and the winner and the runner-up will be invited to the Duel in the Desert. So it's kind of a fun way to do the qualifying at the events this year, using our own events as qualifying events. So we're excited about that. And then just on top of that, we've got all the cars out here, the exhibits, the swap meet. So lots of cool things to see and do all weekend.
I'm looking at the schedule, and am I reading this right? There's a burnout competition at 12:30?
There is actually a burnout contest. So when autocross goes dark for an hour from noon to 1, so about 12:30 or so, we're going to do a burnout contest. We've been doing them at several of our other events, and they've been really popular. So we're gonna try one here at the Spring Nationals and see how it goes.
You know, that smell of burnt rubber just brings a tear to my
Right?
eye.
Yep, the cloud.
Exactly. It really
Yeah.
started to get misty, but maybe that's because the chemicals aren't good for my eyes. I don't know. But
Right.
even if they're not, I'm still going.
Yeah.
So for sure. What else is you got that? What's the Intruders all about?
The Intruders is actually our feature car club here, and they're a really cool group of guys here from Phoenix. It's the Lowrider Club, and they're able to bring their cars out, and they've got a really cool parking area showing off their vehicles. And we've added a lowrider showcase as well to some of our special areas. So trying to just, be more inclusive and invite more of these cool cars out. Everybody's got these great creative imaginations in this business, so it's fun to see that come to life.
So if I got someone out there driving right now back from Home Depot and they just bought a faucet they really don't want to install and they want to go do something different on Saturday than install faucets, can they still come out to the Good Guys Car Show, and how do they get tickets and how do they go?
Absolutely, yeah. Tickets are available out here all day, and all day tomorrow. It's $20 at the gate, general admission. Kids 7 to 12 are $6, and then the little guys 6 and under are free, and they can come out and hang out for the day.
Well, if you're a car fanatic, you're going to enjoy it. You're probably already there. If you're in between, you're going to enjoy it. And if you're just a people watching, there's a lot of that too. So get on out to the Good Guys Car Show. Hey, thanks, Betsy, for being on with us, and I look forward to seeing you out there.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. Have a good one.
You too. Bye. That is my afternoon. I am looking forward to the Good Guys Car Show.
Yeah, it's much better than installing a faucet.
Oh yeah. You know how many plumbing parts are in the back of my truck that have never made it to the master bathroom, and my wife just rolls her eyes when she walks out of there. She's like, "When are you gonna fix that?" I'm like, yeah. So anyway, when we come back, we've got Mark in Mesa. He's got a 2007 Buick Rendezvous, and we've got wide open lines at 602-277-5827. You listen to Bumper Radio.
Having an accident is stressful. Dealing with the repair process shouldn't be. Hi, Leo Petrozella for Campus Body Salon. We've taken the stress out of collision repair since 1973, and here's a couple of tips to de-stress your repair. Make your own choice. Some insurance companies try to convince you that you must use their approved shop for your repair. Not true. Arizona state law allows you to choose the facility that's right for you. Beware of the cheapest estimate. Typically, it's the one from the insurance company cutting corners to trim costs or focusing on appearance only. At Campus Body Salon, appearance is important, but structural integrity and safety are even more critical. Campus Body Salon, independent, family-owned and operated, and bumper-to-bumper radio approved. Check out our Cash for Your Crash program, where we pay you 10% off of your repair up to $1,000. Campus Body Salon, the best care in collision repair.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20-plus years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
That's our closing line, Pops.
I know, Jeff. Just reinforcing that we're full-service auto repair.
At Kurt's Auto Repair, we do it all, including diesel. We have the passion, training, equipment, and expertise for diesel. Our techs are ASE certified for diesel and advanced diesel diagnostics. Toy hauling, horse trailering, off-roading, or work trucking, we've got you covered.
Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's. Check us out at mycarhurts.com.
Few cities are as car-centric as Phoenix, and this is the show that'll help you to better understand that machine you depend on to get around the valley. It's Bumper to Bumper Radio. KTAR News on 92.3 FM and the KTAR app for Android and iPhone.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio. Matt Allen from Virginia Auto Service is off, so today I've got John Riggle. He is our lead diagnostician at Tri-City Transmission Auto Repair. He's also the quality control guy.
Yeah.
John's job is he's paid to find the mistakes of the other technicians.
Yep, but they hate that.
He's got something we yield as the red sticker.
Yep.
And if there's something not right with the car, he throws the old red sticker on it. And he's the narc in the shop. So anyway, but they don't mess with him. When you've got 40 years of experience on everybody, they tend to.
They're a good group of guys. They all want to do the best job they can, and so we get along great.
That is fun for sure. Well, we're going to go to Mark in Mesa. He's got a 2007 Buick Rendezvous. How can we help you, Mark? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hey, good morning. My car runs great. It's got 190,000 miles on it. The reason I'm calling it has one problem. When you put starting from a light, when you go like you normally would drive, the transmission clunks as it goes into the gear. So it's a little bit of a shudder, and then it runs fine. I took it to a shop. He said, hey, I can't find anything wrong with it. I went online, and I found out that Buick's got some kind of a transmission thing where you make some adjustments. It's apparently somewhat of a common problem. But the other thing is, got a little bit of an oil leak, and the fella said, hey, I got to take your transmission partially off to fix your oil leak. And that's when I thought, well, do I want to keep the car and fix it, or is it something I should trade in? I like the car because my kids come with foursomes for golf, and it works great, and the other car is just a little Ford Focus.
Now, did you say it clunks when you initially pull it out of park and put it in the drive, or is it when you leave the stoplight you get a clunk?
If you stop at a stop sign or stop at a light and you take off, if you give it what I would call normal gas, immediately you hear the clunk as it kicks in.
Okay, as that happens in the first 5 feet of movement, you hear that clunk.
Yeah, and if I baby it, I don't hear it for about a month, but once in a while I hear it and I say, oh yeah, it's still doing it. And, I mean, I know it's not going to go away.
For sure.
So, but I guess my real question is, do I take it into Tri-City Transmission because I got to find somebody I trust, or I say, hey, time to trade it in?
Yeah, I think. Well, I like your answer there, but I would say for sure it needs to be diagnosed. Okay,
Yeah.
You've gone to the internet, you've seen some things, and you're gonna all Buicks do that or whatnot. But the first thing that comes to mind for me, John, I don't know about for you, but I'm thinking about motor mounts.
Yeah.
When I feel a clunk right off the line, that initial, because it's already in first gear.
Yeah.
When you're sitting at the light and you got your foot on the brake, it's already in first gear. So there's no real shift happening. Okay.
Yeah.
The torque converter's already pulling, it's already doing its job. And so if you got a clunk right up the line, I'm thinking motor mounts, okay? And if someone's talking about partially removing the transmission to fix an oil leak, they're probably referring to a rear main seal.
Yeah.
So there's a couple ways. You like the car, it works. You're maybe thinking the worst. Oh, I need a transmission, and we're just talking about a motor mount.
Right.
So back to the beginning of the show, we're talking about diagnostic. Don't skip a good diagnostic. You want to make a decision on a big financial thing in your household. Get good information.
Yeah, and that's what he's trying to figure out. Do I keep it? Do I sell it? So you need to take a look at the car in a whole context, not just does it need a trans or not. Car's got 190,000 miles on it. How well has it been maintained? These things come in different grades of maintained. Some of them have been horrible. Some of them have been awesome. A lot of these never made it anywhere near 190,000 miles. So there was issues with timing chains on them and things like that. So there's a lot to consider there. Need to look at it. Like you said, diagnose it, figure out what the complaint is, and take it from there.
In the one thing that we do when someone's on that fence, do I keep it? Do I put the money into it? We do a comprehensive vehicle evaluation. When we look to find everything wrong with the car just by inspecting it. We look at spark plugs, we look at brakes, we look at struts, we look at everything, so you can have a whole picture. Now, that's inspection, but back to diagnosis. Diagnosis is you have a problem, and we need to figure out why you have that problem. So twofold. You need a comprehensive vehicle inspection, and you need a diagnosis.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helps you. Thanks for the call, Mark. We're going to go with Tamara in Chandler. She's got a 2001 Honda CR-V. How can we help you, Tamara? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, my call. I bought this car a few years ago, and it's been maintained by a single driver, and it's in great shape. But in the 2 years I've had it, I've had to replace the AC compressor 3 times. And again, at the end of last summer, the AC went out, and they say it's a compressor issue. I'm just wondering why it's going out so much. If there's something I need to look for, is that a common problem with Hondas? Any advice you have to give before I take it in and get it fixed again for the 3rd time?
Yeah.
Okay. I think, you ever seen anything like that, John?
On an 01 CR-V, yeah, repeatedly, yeah.
Okay.
The only solution I ever came up with them was buying all of the parts from Honda and replacing every single piece in it.
In the AC system.
In the AC system. They hand grenade, and when they do, people will try to shortcut it. They'll go, well, we'll try to flush the condenser, we'll try to flush the evaporator, and they all get, every time they get done, they get half done. And the only solution is OEM parts in that thing, and that's lines, everything gets replaced. If you shortcut it at all, you'll continue down this road.
CR-V AC blues.
Yeah.
And so we've seen it. That's when we all just kind of know.
There's no shortcuts on that, and it's ridiculously expensive, but the only way to fix it is to follow through with the whole program.
Okay. That sounds good. Thanks for the call, Tamara. We're going to go with John in Scottsdale. He's got a 2004 Acura. How can we help you on your Acura, John? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Thank you for taking my call. Actually, the biggest problem with it is I think that I paid it off, so now I'm getting all these little problems.
Yeah.
So the first problem that I'm having is basically between 35 and 40 miles per hour, I get this shudder, and it vibrates the whole car. I let off the gas, and then it's smooth sailing after that. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens more often than I'd like it to.
Mm-hmm.
How many miles? How many miles do you say on your Acura?
224,000, going on 225.
Okay.
I took it to the dealership, and they basically wouldn't even do a transmission flush because they say I'd be throwing away money because they'd like to see me in a new car or a rebuilt transmission.
Well, we don't want to see you do anything with your car. Let me walk you over to the new car line. Have you seen the new Acura?
Yeah.
For sure. So where have you left it from there?
I'm in. I guess I got $250 to spend a month now on it. So
right.
So with that being said, I don't think I'd want to get a new transmission, but I really like the car. So is there, I guess, a lighter diagnosis? I'm willing to spend a little bit on it, but not not new car price.
Well, yeah, and I think Acuras and Hondas, especially in that year range, they're notorious for torque converter issues. And I'm not saying that's what you got going on, but, right in there at 40, 45 mile per hour mark, we could be talking about a torque converter issue.
Yeah, but you got to be careful with that because that's a car you could be looking at mounts, you could be looking at axles. Axles are not unusual for making odd vibrations right about that point, especially under a load. So, yeah, the trick is, get somebody to drive it.
Yes.
Bring it over to Tri-City and let Dave drive it.
And you've got something I call the butt-ometer, okay? And that's when you drive a car and you feel something and you've got a ton of experience for it. Some people got a photographic memory. I got a memory for symptoms.
Yeah.
So I feel something. I'm like, I felt that 200 other times before, and it was this, And so you and I, John, drive a lot of cars together to say, hey, what is this? And we did fix a Toyota here recently where we changed the fluid on it. It had a weird issue, and we're like, it didn't fit any of the patterns, and we changed the fluid on it because you did some, midnight internet search in Russia to find a bulletin about this fluid thing.
Yeah.
And, rarely does changing the fluid fix anything. I mean, it's pretty rare. It does happen.
Yeah.
But, so it needs to be diagnosed and dug into, and you don't necessarily have to replace the whole transmission.
Yeah, we fix a lot of them, especially Honda Acura, yeah.
Torque converters, we do, we'll pull it out, replace the converter, make a few updates in the valve body, put it, send it back down the road without having to do the whole enchilada. And last I checked, the Honda dealerships or the Acura dealerships are not taking them apart and fixing them.
Yeah, they're just doing units in them.
Yeah, so they just replace the whole thing. So a lot of times you don't have to go the whole way, and especially you're like, well, how much more money do I put on this thing? The nice thing is that the car's paid for.
Yeah.
And so you're money ahead, and that's when you start having money in your back pocket. Now the car, a car, I kind of in the past have said, well, a car, is good for 200,000 miles. You can run an Acura to 300,000 miles, but there's going to be some repair bills in there, and you got to know that ahead of time. In the same conversation we had with the last caller, hey, what? If we are going to invest in the transmission or whatever may be going on, let's look at the whole vehicle and let's get a whole picture so that we know what's going on with it, and then we can make a good decision based off of good facts, not just based off of hunches.
Yeah.
So, that diagnostic is the key, and that good information is the key.
Especially with noises and stuff. Diagnosis applies to noises, too. You can't fix a noise or a vibration unless you know what's causing it.
I was reading a shop manual, some instructions from a chain auto repair shop, and it said to only tell the customer one thing about their car. Don't tell them about all the other things wrong with their car. And I read that, and I thought, man, that is so corrupt.
Yeah.
Because what they're trying to do is just sell you something as opposed to really help you. You want to make good decisions. You want good information about your car, and you want people that are going to tell you about everything going on with your car so that you're in that place and you're not surprised all the time by all that. So anyhow, thanks for joining us. Make sure to get in your car and put that faucet aside and go out to the Good Guys Car Show, and hopefully you can make it in time for the Burnout Show out. So anyway, if you're looking for a friendly, honest, competent shop, bumpertobumperradio.com. Remember never to text and drive. See you next week.